what constantly kept me broken, what kept breaking the spell of Q and Trump from me, I could never glorify Q or Trump because Q was clearly in the name, he was anonymous. I don't like anonymity. Anonymity is the first surefire sign of something on some bullshit. I don't like anonymity, okay? But I do get anonymity in a world where you can be hunted down and killed if you say the wrong thing, right? Q told the truth. The Queen, the presidents, the Pope,
Barack,
they're all in on it.
Obama. Oh yeah, hell yeah.
I'll tell you what, if anybody is curious about Q, I'd say the best compilation of information to really give you the information that you need to ascertain the legitimacy of this claim is a young lady by the name of Janet Obrissard. I believe she's Swedish. But I think she's Swedish, and she put out a documentary called Fall Cabal. F-A-L-L-C-A-B-A-L. Fall Cabal. Watch that. It's really good. It's really insightful, and it opens up. She also thought, because she was against Trump at first, but then because of Q, she did think that maybe this rough guy who's not so well centered is gonna be the, the way to expose all of this.
Yeah, she connected the dots for real.
Because now, what's happening is, all of my Trump friends, they've forgotten about the children. They're focused on
Save
Trump.
The children. Save the children.
It's gone. Hashtag Save the Children has been wiped.
Adrenochrome.
They're following Trump. They're following the Capitol. It's just like Flint water. Long as they ain't talking about it, people will forget it.
Oh, the mayor going to jail.
That's why I hate calling them Q-tars, because it sounds disrespectful, but Q people never forget. You learn the truth. And now you know for a fact that nothing's being done about it. Nothing, absolutely nothing. It's still happening. They're still doing the rituals. And you can tell that ritual is very important to these people. Come on, man, bro. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I haven't had this memory. I haven't even thought about this in a long ass time. But you wanna know, besides the Hunger Games, what that courtyard inauguration reminded me of? The rise of Cobra Commander. Back in G.I. Joe, Cobra Commander used to have a whole masked up crew, and he used to give speeches and shit from the podium in a courtyard like that, with all his people circled around. Man, you can't believe. I'm not one of these guys who gonna clip a bunch of videos and reference a bunch of material, because fuck you, man, for real. If you ain't gonna look it up on your own, I ain't gonna look it up for you. There's plenty of people out here that's really passionate about sharing information with the people, and they're doing the research. This motherfucker is following rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole. Thank goodness for those people, because the good ones always leave reference links where you can go back and read the entire article for yourself, right? I really like the Corbett report. He's been on for 10 plus years. He's a Canadian that streams out of Japan, and what he does is he gathers all the news that gets reported that your news won't report to you. Because you can tell what someone believes most of the time. You can tell exactly where they get their information from. And this is my question, right? I think that's the most valuable commodity in this society, next to the necessities like food, air, and water, is information. Now, we gotta think about that. How do you collect information, right? How do you retain the information, and how do you filter out What do you believe is valid, which settles in your subconscious and becomes a part of you in your way of life, like 2 + 2 being 4, right? And the stuff that you say, no, that's bullshit. How do you filter that? When the information comes in, how do you decide whether to keep it or to throw it away? Because I see a lot of people doing that. I see a lot of people, that's how you become a Trump supporter, right? A lot of information came in about Trump. You kept some of it and some of it you threw away. Same with Biden, right? Because Trump supporters don't want to talk about his grab him by the pussy, rapey type past. And rightfully so, it doesn't look good to follow a rapey ass nigga. So you try to defend his rapiness, as best you can. But then Biden's a rapey ass nigga too. So the crazy part is I've had actual conversations with people who are like, well, at least Trump didn't touch no kids. So? And that's actually yet to be proven. First of all, okay, so we all know that Biden's a pedophile and notorious sniffer. And then Trump is a grab him by the pussy, pay him off quietly, let's not talk about that part ass nigga. So how do you choose one or the other? How do you filter out all the stuff that the accusations that have come in about Trump and say I'm a Trump supporter, right? And how do you filter out all the accusations and the stuff that come in about Biden and say I'm a Biden supporter? How do you filter that? Because personally, when it all came in, I took it in, same as you, except I didn't filter it. I didn't say, well, this is valid and this isn't valid. I said, interesting. And when they put these two niggas up in front of me and say, pick one, I'm like, no. You can't make me choose. Y'all can choose whatever the fuck y'all want to do and believe y'all made a choice or whatever, but I'm not gonna choose the less rapey solution. If the solutions are both rapey, they're not solutions. Right? And then, I mean, that's notwithstanding all of the shit that I already know about them that y'all might believe are conspiracy theories or whatever. But, I mean...
Whole system fake.
Bruh.
Wait till y'all find that out.
In the manner in which y'all collect information, y'all ain't collecting enough of it. That's the problem. You stop somewhere and you say, hey, this is it, this is my line, this is all the information I'm collecting about Trump. And the rest of it is invalid. I don't want to talk about it. So let me ask you this, you Trump supporters, which are mostly males. A lot of females support Trump. But would you leave your wife or your kid with Trump? And if you would, you suffer from some sort of mental illness, which probably I don't have the proper 23-letter name for it, but yeah, you're fucked. You're fucked in the head, bro, if you leave your wife or child with Trump. Vis-a-vis, the same with Biden. Same with Michael Jackson. Same with Barry Sanders. Any one of these motherfuckers that you're a fanatic of, which brings me to a conversation I've been trying to have for the longest. And now that I'm rolling, let's jump right into it. Okay, so I want to get this verbatim, right? I want to talk about a statement a friend of mine put on Facebook. He's a intelligent, hardworking, good father. I don't know about him being a husband, but you know, he's a good stand-up guy and a good citizen. I met this guy and his brother in a brief summer when I was living in a certain place, and we were neighbors. And ever since then, we've been cool friends. You know what I'm saying? On Facebook, you know, we chat on each other's comments and stuff like that, on each other's posts. But recently, he posted this. I'm not gonna say any names or whatever, but here we go. Let me also say, as just a little bit of background on the guy. He's one of the best ball players I've ever seen in my life. Jump shot crazy. Him and his brother. They big into music, right? They love like listening to music. They got family that makes music, all of that. So I'm gonna give you the background. I'm gonna give you the post, and I'm gonna tell you what I feel like he meant, and I'm gonna tell you what it means to me. He says, music, in all capitals, got me feeling like I don't mind losing my ability to see, comma, as long as I can continue to listen. Hashtag vibes. Now, me personally, I love the status because, not because I love music, but I know what he meant. What he means is like music has him feeling like he wouldn't mind being physically blind, right? As long as he still had the power of hearing. Because music is that good. And it is. Now, let me tell you what this statement means to me. It struck my heart deep inside when I read that. Let's read it from my perspective. Music got me feeling like I don't mind losing my ability to see as long as I can continue to listen. Absolutely. See, in my world, music is a form of sorcery. And that's exactly what it does. It takes away people's ability to see. Not with their eyes, but with their mind. He's absolutely right, and he don't know how right he is. That's exactly why it exists. To help you lose your ability to see, as long as you can continue to listen. And that's precisely why I don't listen to music. I recently just broke that spell. I don't listen to any mainstream music. More specifically, I won't listen to music with lyrics. I'll listen to instrumentals. I will listen to instruments, but no combinations of instruments, whether they be physical or digital, with a combination of lyrics over the top. That is from what I can tell, the strongest form of sorcery mankind has ever encountered. Very powerful stuff. And on this path, your greatest enemy will be, well, my greatest enemy was making excuses, right? I stopped listening to mainstream music that was considered modern day music because it's like trash. Like, man, what are these young people into, right? So then I started defending my old school music, the 90s rap and the R&B, right? But then as I'm growing, I'm starting to realize that shit's trash too. So then I started listening to even older music like the Motown and shit. And then I'm realizing that was trash as well. Because it all serves the same purpose. Subliminal message, subconscious, hypnotic resonance, frequencies that take over the way you see the world. It reminds me of when Morpheus and Neo were in that scene together, and Neo asked Morpheus, he said, "Why do my eyes hurt?" And Morpheus says, "Because you've never used them before." By God, my fucking eyes hurt. I can't explain to you the spells you're under and how deep it goes. The spells I was under and I'm still under. But it begins with that. Music got me feeling like I don't mind losing my ability to see as long as I can continue to listen. I value my ability to see. I will say this though, it's lonely here. Cause see, once you've broken the spell, you can't go back. It's all bullshit. As soon as you turn some music on, it's like, you listening to this clown ass nigga, man. And if I really wanted to, I could pick apart this nigga that you think is real by his lyrics and show you how he's nothing but a demon in sheep's clothing. But you don't want to hear that because you don't mind losing your ability to see as long as you can continue to listen. That statement was so powerful, it resonated with me because he wasn't even talking to me, but he was talking to me. Not me, but everything. And it's why I can't go back. Like, there is no way back. I can't go in the room with my girl, right, while she's watching the show. She's really been into these shows on Hulu and Netflix and shit, which I was at one point in time, right? And then when I go in there and lay for a second, we smoking or whatever, and I see the plot that she's watching, it's all obvious. I can call it, literally call scenes. I can tell you what's about to happen next. Because I can see. So, maybe ignorance is bliss. Because it's very terrible having to make up a person. You see me, right? And then there's another me, right? There's another me that has to find a way to even have conversations with you about Trump. Every conversation I have with a person is me sidestepping your ignorance, trying to get you to see the light. And then sometimes I get tired of that, right? And I just go along with the conversation because this is all these people have. That's all they have is their favorite sports star or their favorite music and it's so empty. It's so empty. You are surrounded by people. You live in a community and all your thoughts are projected outside of where you live. You've been taught that this is the real world. I don't have any favorites, right? I don't have any favorite anything. I don't live in a world of favorites, but I will tell you this. The most eye-opening movie that I've ever seen to the reality of this world is The Matrix. But because we're visually bound, it's like our eyes are a prison. Our ears can be a prison as well. It's the easiest way to put bars on a person is to subjugate their subconscious, which is done at a very young age. You start teaching this kid all kinds of stupid shit, and in the background is this music. Always playing, no matter where you go, in the car, you're outside, this music is playing. And somehow, I get it. People try to separate some types of music, like I tried to, thinking that this newer music was trash, or because it's got bad lyrics, or because she says wet ass pussy, or because it's got a southern twang. How do you choose what music you like? Ask yourself that. Or does the music choose you? Is that why there's so many different kinds? Because they're all the same to me, if you ask me. It's not music, it's magic, it's sorcery. It makes you care what happens to these people, these actors, these musicians, these politicians. But somehow you don't care about the people next door. You fight with them. And your mind is projecting out through this box or this device. All your hopes and dreams are going being projected everywhere. Never once really kind of staying in the vicinity. And I've tried to get back in. Me and old lady fought about it She mad because I can't come in there and watch TV with her. I want you to understand this. I literally can't. I'm either gonna ruin it for you, or I'm gonna sit there and complain the entire time because I see what's happening. I'm like, oh, I know what that is. You know, like.